Hello again and welcome to this lesson. It's getting the job done. Now, you've seen how to apply for jobs, you've seen how to submit your bidding, you've seen that the prices they pay for these jobs are in US dollars, and already US dollars is times how many times our currency. So that already settles the question of if it is 4 times your current job. So if you're able to bill $2,000 in a month, that's close to 2 million naira, right? If you're able to bill $500 in a month, that's close to $500,000, 500,000 naira. So let's talk about what do you need to do this job. Of course, I understand that the people that are attending this course or that will take this course are from different walks of life. Some are copywriters, some are customer support, some are email marketers, different like that. Some are working with Airbnb people. So I cannot really tell you how to do your job, but let me tell you how it works on the Upwork platform, right? So to start with, the client will send you an offer. So when they send you an offer, that means the client is saying, let's work together. This is what I want to be delivered. This is when it should be delivered, and this is how much I am willing to pay. So once an offer is sent, you have to accept the offer first before you do the job. Then when you accept the offer, next is for you to deliver on your promises. Remember, you've told the client that you're the best fit, you can do XYZ, right? It is time for you to really deliver on those promises. So lest I forget, I want to draw your attention to the fact that you have to go above and beyond. If a client needs X, you can do XYZ, so that the client is happy and they pay you and they recommend you and they come back again. You don't want to just eat once and that's all. You want it to come back again. That's the beginning of wealth, right? Recurring. Let it keep coming. So go above and beyond for every client. So there are two types of contracts on the Upwork platform. There is a fixed contract. A fixed contract comes with a defined amount for a defined job for a defined period of time. So it's saying, I want a logo for my brand. I'm willing to pay $10 for that logo, and I want the logo delivered next week, Friday. You get? So that is how fixed contract works. You only get your money when you submit that logo to the client, and the client said, okay, this is the logo I'm looking for. That is what fixed contract does. So there are different, that was just an example. There are different ways people can set fixed contract. People can say, okay, draw a house plan for me. I'm willing to pay $50. People can say, okay, build a website for me. I'm willing to pay $300. You get? So these are fixed contracts. They don't require you to track time. But there's another type of contract on the Upwork that is called the hourly contract or the hourly contract. Now, the hourly contract has to do with a continuous time frame. Yes, it has an end date. It may have an end date, known end date. But for you to get your money, you'll be paid per hour. You'll be paid per hour. You get your money every hour. Not like you'll be collecting it every day, right? It will accumulate for you throughout the week. Then they process it and they pay you the next week. You get it? So that's how hourly contract works. Hourly contract also requires that you use the Upwork time tracker. The Upwork time tracker is an app that tracks time and calculates how many hours you've worked for a particular client. So that app is very useful when you are working on an hourly contract. You have to put it on, and you have to make sure that when you are doing a job for the client, you don't use that time to do another thing. Like your tracker is on and you're working for another client. That's bad. That is so bad. So quickly, I want to go over some tips to help you get the best out of the contracts that you get. So the first thing I want to say to you is to make sure that you understand what the requirement is. Like if the client require XYZ, ask the client. Make sure the both of you are saying yes on the same requirement. Not that when you do it and they'll say, no, this is not what I want. Make sure you are very clear on the requirement. If you have doubt, go back to the client and say, excuse me, I don't understand XYZ. They will explain for you, right? You mean you want this to be like this? The person will say, yes, I want it to be like this. You get it? So make sure there are no doubts when you go through the work requirement. Now, if you're somebody in the creative industry, you do graphic design, you do copywriting, you do website design, allow for multiple revision. Now, multiple revision is not like they will take you for a fool. No, there are very few clients that will do that, and I pray you don't meet them. Even when you meet them, Upwork has a way of protecting you for those from those clients, right? So allow multiple revision so that you don't just give them one job and you say, okay, that's your logo. No, you give them the logo and say, is there something you would like to change? So if you do that twice, by the second time, I believe you already get a very good idea of what the client is looking for. Nobody is happy to ride on you. I don't know people who want to ride on you. So make sure you do multiple revision if you are a creative. Now, if your contract is if you are an hourly contract, I've said this before, do not use your tracker do not put your tracker on when you are not working. I want to let you know that it is very important not to put on your tracker when you are not working. Don't go and steal in the international platform. They will catch you. In fact, apart from catching you, they will give you bad reviews. And if they give you bad reviews, it means nobody will hire you again. You get it? Or it will be very hard for you to get another client. So make sure you are tracking time for that particular client, not for another client, not just to burn time. Now, there's what we call SOP, Structured Operations Procedures. If you are given one of those, I want you to make sure that you use them, you follow them, because that is how the client wants his or her work. I know you are the expert, but make sure you follow the the way or the pattern the client wants it done. Try your best to follow that. Now, where there is a conflict, like what you are expected to do versus what is obtainable, don't go and fight the client and say they don't do it. It does not work like that. No, you have to suggest and even back it up with reasons and maybe proof that this thing is not working like that. But if the client insists, no problem, you go ahead and do it for the client. I think I was talking to one of my developer. I heard him and he said, no, you don't have to do this like this. I said, okay, fine. And I accepted, right? So the same thing applies for you. If you are the freelancer, you may suggest that this is not the way it is done, or this is an error, make corrections. There are times I've worked for clients and I told them I had to spot out errors in their website, right? This is not working well, this is not working well, this is not working well. And they appreciate it. So wherever there is conflict, make sure you resolve that with negotiation. No go they follow your client, they argue. They win argument, they lose money. So don't do that. Now, when a job is done and contract terms are met, ask that the contract is closed. So if we are done with our work, let the contract be closed and ask them to give you good reviews so that another client can see it and say, okay, so person has recommended this person. This person has worked for one client before. You get it? But by the time you have a lot of jobs open and you are not closing them out, in fact, when another clients come, you will say you are very busy, you have lots of jobs. But in reality, you don't have jobs, right? So make sure you close them. You can give a time span of 3 months. If a contract is inactive and you know that the client will not come back, close it up. For me as a client, I close up my contract immediately after I execute the contract. But some persons will leave it there. They will not hear from the client. They will leave it there. It's affecting your algorithm score. Like there's a way they check it and it's affecting your success score. So don't allow the job stay there for so long. Don't allow them stay there for so long. Now, you may not know everything you need to do for a client. I bet you don't know everything. So all you can do is use Google first. Use Google. You don't have to go back to the client and say, how can I clip this to the panel? Or how can I do XYZ? Use Google first. If you don't see the answer on Google, then go back to the client. If the job requires that you can ask the client's question. Take for example, if you are designing a website, the client will not tell you the JavaScript to use. So if you don't know the JavaScript to use, it's you that know. You get it? But if we are writing a copy, I can ask the client that, hey, does this heading suit you? Is it in line with your brand voice? You get? So that is a different scenario. But in all, make sure you use Google. And thank God for AI. AI is happening. You can take advantage of it. I'm not saying you should go and give artificial intelligence the job that they've paid you to do. They will know. The person that give you the job is not a fool. They will know. So at all costs, my brother, you have to over deliver. Do your best. Don't do shabby work. Make sure you go over and do your best. Now, you may need to collaborate with people at your workplace. Please and please do this with respect. Don't go and abuse people. Don't go and shout at your colleagues fiacre. You have to respect them. That is part of your collaboration skills, right? So make sure you are friendly, make sure you are prompt to meetings. If the job requires that you attend meetings, show up on time. You get it? So all of this will help you get the best out of the contract that you've won. Remember, it took you a lot of proposals to get that contract, and I don't want you to mess it up. I don't want you to just blow it like that. It will be hard before you get another one, or it will take some time before you get another one. So when you get a contract, execute it well, ask for recommendation, and keep searching for more jobs. Again, this system is guaranteed to get you 4 times your current salary. I don't know how I can emphasize this, except you currently earn 500,000 naira from Nigeria, then maybe it will be hard. But if your salary is above 150,000, if your salary is, if your salary is below 150,000, then give this a try and see what happens, right? Now, in our next lesson, we are going to talk about how to collect the money that you worked for, because you've done the work. How do you now collect the money? How do you bring it to Nigeria? How do you bring it to Ghana? How do you bring it to South Africa? South Africa is already popular. You can bring it in many ways. But for countries like Nigeria, where PayPal has some restriction, how do you bring your money? What platform do you use? Bank does not have dollars. So we are going to answer a lot of those questions in our next lesson. Stay close. Once again, my name is Christian. Thank you very much for your time.